say that Southampton finishing in the Europa League places at the end of last season was a disappointment does seem a little bit ridiculous. It's still a great achievement for the club. It's just not as great an achievement as our first season when we finished second and in the Champions League spots. So we're going to do what we can with this season, and in order to do that, we need a really good transfer window. So let's get to it. How are we doing, everybody, and welcome to part 14 of Club 3 here on MyCareer on FM23. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video, where it's going to be a transfer special. You know the score. Players are going to come in, players are going to go, and we're hopefully going to have a squad that can take us to the next level. And if you're excited to see us build this squad in today's video, then do not forget to leave a like on the video for me and subscribe so you don't miss any of the Football Manager nonsense that comes out of this face right here. Since you're last with us, I've literally clicked. It's been about 5 minutes. Secrets of Magic reveals. But we are here at the season review, and let's just dive in and see what the season was like from the game's perspective, shall we? No trophies to speak of, similar to last season. Of course, we'll get on to how we did in all of the other competitions in a moment when the game decides that it wants to load. Thank you, game. In terms of transfers, arrivals, there were a few of them, and I think there were a few superstars. So we'll go in order on the list. The first one that came in, I don't know if this is in date order or anything, but I do feel like he was one of the first players we signed. James Price, signed him towards the end of last season. In fact, we signed him in the January transfer window last season, and we sent him back on loan to Swansea. Had a great rest of his season there. And considering he's inconsistent, had a really good year for us. 39 starts, 15 sub-appearances, 16 goals, 15 assists. Played really well as either the second striker or on the right-hand wing. He did very, very well for us. Next signing was Joe Veloso. We had him last season on loan. We knew what he was like. We actually had him on a permanent last season, and I pulled out. Regret that completely. 10 goals, 12 assists. Did go off the boil at one point, but he is considered to be our signing of the season. £55 million well spent. 20 million for James Price as well. I didn't mention that. That seems like a bargain. Cole Palmer. Overpaid for him. Would have preferred to find someone who was younger and better. However, he did a job for us. £56 million for a 26-year-old at the time. 43 starts, 9 sub-appearances, 9 goals, 16 assists. Did very well for us. Joe Bursik came in on loan. Honestly, did okay when we called upon him, as is shown by his average rating. Played the last 2 games of the season, had a world in one of them, and was awful in the other one. Doesn't that just sum up our season? Charlie Cresswell, honestly, average. Had some good games, had some very poor games. £50 million, I don't know if it was well spent, but he is an England international. He has only got 5 caps, though, so take that with a pinch of salt. Started 39, substitute appearances were 10. Did score 7 goals for us, so did contribute. James Ward-Prowse was a nostalgic one from me, but he did contribute. £21.5 million spent, 36 starts, 18 sub-appearances, 4 goals, and 14 assists. I think almost all of those goals were free kicks, and some of his assists did come from most of them came from set pieces, actually. 70 million from Luke Thomas, I think still was a good transfer. Not necessarily a good deal, but I think bringing him in was the right thing to do. 34 caps for England. He got 1 goal and 6 assists. Did look very good at times. Had a few poor games, but then that was the team. Ugarte came in on a free. That's a bargain. I mean, and he's got a release clause of £55 million. I might try and move him on this season. And if we can get, I mean, it doesn't matter what we get for him. It'll be profit because we didn't pay for him. Didn't have any goal contributions, but he was designed to be a destroyer in the midfield, and that's exactly what he did. Albastegi played 10 times in total, 2 goals, 1 assist, did okay. Wouldn't get him back. Stanisic, young, cheap, wonder kid, didn't play that well, however, could get better. Patsy Devine won't talk about. LaMonica barely, but didn't play at all. So, they're all the transfers in. Quick look at the transfers out. Lanari, young player who was here when I arrived, didn't really get anything going, so he's done really well since he's gone. Chiquinho, we finally managed to get rid of to West Brom. Tyler Dibling left. Had a decent season last season, but he's now gone. Didn't do very well at PSV. Jacob Hines, I vaguely remember him. Did okay. Che Adams, finally got rid of him. Did okay in the Championship. Callum Scanlon, don't really care. Bazunu, barely played for Benfica. Mbete, played a lot for Millwall. Castledine, played a reasonable amount for Hertha. Hernandez, played a little bit for Cruz Azul. Soyuncu, didn't barely play at all for Villarreal. You don't matter. Ronnie Richarlison, West Ham, played okay. Didn't play that many games. Barrios, played a load of games for this team. And I think that's the last one that matters. All of the others don't really matter. Won't bother looking at the loans. Right. In terms of how the season went. Really, you have to consider it that. Yes, we finished in Europa League spots compared to the Champions League spots. Southampton, when we joined, were the last club in the league outside of the relegation zones. Bear that in mind. We had a great season last season. This season is still a good one. It's still good. The board is still delighted. We challenged for the Premier League at one point. We finished 6 points off the top. We have to consider that a success. I took in that 5 minutes between the episode starting and the last episode ending. I've thought about it, and to be honest, we've done really, really well, so we should be proud. Top goal scorer for us was Pinamonti. We knew that. Our results look like that. There's a lot more green than there is anything else, but there is a lot more red and orange in there than there was last season, so we do need to address a few things for the league. Champions League, all we had to do was reach the league stage. We did that. Oh my word, I hate the league stage. But we did get through to the last 16. We got through the first qualifying round after the qualifying round after the group stage. And after beating Juventus in the first leg, we did get beat by them in the second leg. So it is what it is. But we have a more positive than negative record in the Champions League this season. Have to be proud of that. 12 goals for Pinamonti. Just so. FA Cup, well. Yeah. Reached the latter stage. We got knocked out in the 5th round. Got drawn against Arsenal. What can you expect? Arsenal have become a bit of our bogey team in this save. And Carabao Cup, reached the latter stage. We got to the final. We got battered in the final, but we got to the final. We had a relatively easy run, Lincoln first, then West Ham, Everton, then Brentford. So 3 Premier League teams, but 2 of them weren't very good Premier League teams at that point. Could have been better, could have been worse. Moments to remember. We battered Maccabi Haifa in the Champions League. This is when we thought we were going to be a super team. Spring with 2, Palmer with 1, Velosa with 2, and Ward-Prowse with 2 as well. Had a really, really good time in that game. Match to remember. Red Bull Salzburg 1, Southampton 5. Very unexpected. A Pinamonti hat-trick. Livramento and Cresswell rounding things out. And the goal of the season was apparently by Livramento. I don't remember this one, but it was within a game with a Pinamonti hat-trick. So let's have a look at this. It's Livramento with a Ward-Prowse assist. So I'm intrigued to see what this is like. It's not going to be your standard free kick, that's for sure. I have no recollection of this whatsoever. So Ward-Prowse has the ball here. Goes to Livramento. I do remember this one. He cuts inside from left back and just unleashes an absolute worldie. I'm alright with that. I sometimes disagree with the goal of the season. That one, beautiful, beautiful. A man's just walked past my house carrying a door. I just felt the need to tell you that. That was all good. We've currently a 4-star continental team still. That's okay. No new sponsorships or anything like that in terms of revenue. Sponsorship is up by 6 million. Broadcast revenue down by about 3 million. Corporate hospitality up by about 1 million and a bit. Competition prize money is shot up by at least, well, it's about double-ish, there or thereabouts. And our commercial revenue has gone up by about £500,000. Shirt sellers, Pinamonti was number 1. Then we had Ward-Prowse, Veloso, Price and Palmer. No surprise to see Ward-Prowse in there. Our team of the year, it is in the 4-3-3 weird offset formation that we were using towards the end before I changed to the 4-2-3-1 for the final day. It's Lunin in goal. Played the majority of the games. Whether I like him or not, I can't complain with that. Jimenez, Cresswell, Borno and Thomas. I don't necessarily know about Jimenez. However, he did play a lot of football there, so I will give that. Do the back 4. I do think Pavlovic is probably a bit unlucky, but Borno was our captain for the majority of the season, so I could understand it a little bit. Lavia, Veloso and Ward-Prowse. That was our standard 3, to be honest. And when you look at the contributions, okay, Lavia was a destroyer, so he didn't get many. But Veloso and Ward-Prowse did get a lot of goal contributions in there, which you've got to be happy about. Palmer on the right-hand side. We got him in his preferred position using this formation. It was the one thing that made me really like it. I would obviously prefer Price to not have to be the second striker up here. I prefer him to be out on this side, but we can't really do that. So Palmer did well out there, as you can see. 16 assists, 9 goals. And then Andrea Pinamonti with 44 goals and 8 assists. And Price next to him with 15 and 16 of assists and goals combined. I can't really disagree with that too much, if I'm being completely honest. If we can have a look at the accolades, please, game, that would be great. So, accolades for me. Manager of the month in May, Manager of the month in September, and Manager of the year. Boom. In terms of club awards, Fans Player of the Season, Pinamonti. I'm not surprised at that whatsoever. Young Player of the Season is Veloso. A little bit surprised that it didn't go to, what's his face? Oh, I've forgotten his name already. Price. I forgot Price's name. Goodness me. Surprised it didn't go to him. Same with signing of the season, but Veloso was a very good signing, so I'm not too unhappy about those two. Know about the goal of the season? A pearl, an absolute pearl. Top goal scorer, 44 goals in all competitions, was Pinamonti. Assists, it was Cole Palmer. A little bit surprised that James Ward-Prowse didn't get there, but James Ward-Prowse was relying on set pieces. Cole Palmer did a lot of that in open play. Player of the match awards was Pinamonti with 12. Highest average rating was Pinamonti with a 7.4. Passes per 90 minutes, 62 in 90 minutes was Romeo Lavia. Record breakers for the year was Pinamonti with 12 Player of the Match awards and £70 million paid for Luke Thomas. In terms of competition prize awards, Pinamonti was the top goal scorer in the league. Erling Haaland did not get it. Pinamonti was also in the Team of the Year, which was good to see. The only Southampton player who made it in there. A couple of nice little quotes for the season, and then the dynamic timeline. So you already know about all of these bits. If you haven't watched Dartford or Tranmere sections of this save, go back and watch them. There's a playlist on the channel. They have their own playlists as well. We started at Dartford, moved to Tranmere. We're now at Southampton. If I can remember to put a link up here, I will. I did say that, I think, in a few episodes prior, possibly the last transfer special we did. Apologies if I do forget. But it's been very good. If we have a look at the Southampton section of the journey, we've hit 300 games played. We're looking really, really good. Manager of the Year. I think we've won that twice now. Yeah, we have. We've won Manager of the Year 2 seasons in a row. Have that. And there's our team. I hit like overall best 11 since the save started. Rydar still in there, which is a bit weird. Jamal Lewis in there, which is a bit weird. So Inchu as well. And it's starting to look like our team. Pinamonti's forced his way in. Looney's forced his way in. Veloso's in there as well. We've still got Richarlison in there. Adams too. But some of our players, I think, are on the bench. Price is already there. Marles is on there as well. So we do need to start thinking about the following season. Sports profile update before we do that, though. Family's gone down. It's only at 24%, but the core fan base has gone up to 28%, which I think is probably a good thing. We've got more social media followers. We've got 26,000 season ticket holders and 37,000, nearly 38,000 waiting for season tickets. And we've got a moderate support from the fans in terms of their influence on the board. So we do need to keep the fans happy for the most part. Visions and expectations I'll do off camera. We'll do the end of season team meeting. We'll do that now, actually. Why not? Let's get that out of the way. What do we want to do next season? Do you know what? We're not going to do that. We're going to do this first. Let's make sure that we get this sorted, because otherwise we don't really know what to say to the players. So, let's have a look. So, pressing football, developing young players, attacking, entertaining, possession football, most of set pieces. We'll try and do all of that anyway, so I'm not bothered about that. Wage budget, fine. 4-year contracts, fine. Expand stadium, nothing to do with me, but yeah, I agree. We are maxing out the stadium for the majority of the games we have. I think it was at 100% on every single competition when we looked at it, from what I can remember. Contract expires at the end of the season after next, and at that point we're working towards qualifying for the Europa League. Sure, game. Let's do that. Right, lads, I've had a chat with the board. Let's tell you what we want you to do. Really, I mean, do we... I think we should lowball it, because we don't want to upset them if we don't do it. So I think top half? Top half, yeah, that worked. That was okay. And Europa League, last stages, fine. Excellent. We won't do any promises now, and we'll say that. Great. We've sent them all off, relatively happy, which is good. Where are we going to go for a training camp? Let's have a look. So we can go Singapore, China, or the US. Let's go US. I like going to the US for the training camps. I don't know why. Right. This team, what on earth do we do with it? My initial instinct after the last couple of games is we go 4-2-3-1 again. That is my instinct. I think James Price had a good enough game out in the wing to convince me that he can do a good job there. I don't really like the fact that he's a winger out there, to be honest. But then his crossing is good. Actually, I mean, I keep looking at him as a striker, and actually, he's just as good as a winger, really, isn't he? His finishing's decent enough. His long shots are decent enough. Knocks his ball past his opponent. He's got pace on him. Maybe we consider him to be a winger now. Maybe we consider him to be a winger. Okay. Okay, I'm formulating the plan. Give me a second. Let me sort the squad out how I normally do, and we'll have a look at what we think we need to do. Okay, so just including the players that we've currently got at the club, that is the rotation 11 on the pitch, and that is the starting 11 on the bench. So I've done it that way around because the starting 11, I think, speaks for itself. None of these players here are going to be leaving. We are missing a goalkeeper, of course, because we've been over the goalkeeper situation. But we are missing a goalkeeper here. So at the moment, just leaving it as it is, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 positions we need to sort out. A couple of things with that. I do kind of want to lose a couple of these players. I want to lose Hickey. I want to get a new backup left back. I also would like to move on both of these guys, both of our wingers, which means we need wingers as well. And I think Ugart might be on his way out of the club as well. does increase the amount of players we need to get. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players. Now, one thing I haven't looked at properly yet is loan players. Loan players changes things dramatically. For example, Hoyenhal comes in as a goalkeeper. That reduces the amount of players that we need. And then we have other players as well. Kuchiara is someone who I think will get a decent amount of game time. That reduces the amount of players that we need. Hector Ferb is some kind of attacking midfielder as well. I don't think he can play on the wing. I think he's more in the middle. No, he can play on the wing, actually. So maybe he comes in and plays somewhere like that. That's another position. We've got Michael Holdford, who's currently a 2-star player. Okay, he's not had the best of season, but still, we do have him. So, if we bring some of these guys in, maybe, just maybe, we reduce the amount of players we actually need to sign. So, let's call it there, and then I can have a look back at this list again, and there's a few other players who I think are in the under-21s, but all of a sudden, we built the squad up a little bit. Okay, Holdford can't play there, so we swap him and Ferb around, and it doesn't strengthen the squad a lot, but we do all of a sudden have more depth. Guardian, he's not had a good season, it has to be said. He's had a really poor time in Valencia, actually, so we might loan him out again. So don't take that as a complete thing, but that does reduce the amount of players. So even if we take Guardian out, and even if we take Holford out, all of a sudden, instead of having that many players, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players to bring in. That's doable. That's doable. Could be 6 when we're looking at Ward-Prowse, because as much as I like Ward-Prowse and as good as he is, in the nicest possible way, he's tanking already. He's going to tank even more next season. So maybe we need to replace him. And then pre-season is about getting Lewis Murray comfortable in that box-to-box midfielder role, because he can do it. I think there's a couple of other players as well who I would consider to bring in, who should be on this list down here. So I'm just going to have a look through and just double-check them. Diego Tapia was the one I was thinking of. He would be a defensive midfield option, potentially. Sam Roberts is another goalkeeper. He could be the backup goalkeeper, depending on how well he's grown. Jay Leathan is now 2.5 star. He could be very usable, so he could come out onto this wing. Maybe we move those two back around. And then we've got Paris Walker-Hughes, who's currently out on loan, 2-star. Maybe we use him. Maybe we send him back out on loan. It looks like Linton Hamnet still needs a bit of time as well. He's a 2-star player now, but he's still got some time to grow. Thank God, Abaje, 2-star, still got room to grow. Abdul Lee, 1.5 star, definitely not him. These are all of the players who are in our under 21 and under 18s. Bruce Knoll is definitely not someone who we'd call on. So, considering Tapia and Leathan as well. Leathan, again, 2.5 star already. And Tapia is already a 3-star. Of course, we did fall out with Tapia a little bit because he wants to be a playmaker. To be honest, we could probably make him a playmaker in this system. I think it would be silly not to try and use him in some way. But he's definitely got the ability to be part of this squad. So that would reduce things even more. If we consider Leathan, Ferb, Tapia and Kuchiara parts of this squad, all of a sudden, we've only got 2 players to sign. And Sam Roberts is a 2.5 star goalkeeper. We might have solved it. Now, Sam Roberts would be our backup, obviously. So let me just swap the squads around and show you what I think my strongest 11 would be. I mean, it's no surprise that it is a very familiar squad. Hoyen, Haaland, goal, Jimenez, Cresswell, Pavlovic, Thomas, Lavia, Ward-Prowse, Price, Veloso, Palmer, Pinamonti. Now, having said that, what if we do bin off Ward-Prowse? I'm just going to pop him down into these other substitution positions here. Let's say we bin him off. Let's say we decide that these guys are not going to be the predominant starting defenders. Maybe we take Cresswell out and bring in another central defender. Bring someone there. All of a sudden, we can look at maybe bringing in a superstar central defender, a superstar box-to-box midfielder. I think the attacking four is fine. I think the fullbacks are fine. Obviously, we've mentioned we need a new fullback as cover on the left. Right back, we're fine. Centre-back, we need a couple maybe. Maybe only one, maybe a couple. Who knows? Central midfielder. We might not need anyone, but it's probably safer to bring someone in just in case. Price, I think we've got cover for him. Palmer, I think we've got cover for him. Kuchiara comes in as cover for Veloso. Pinamonti, he's got Gardner and Price as well. I mean, the question I have got is, can Ferb play as a winger? I mean, he's predominantly a central attacking midfielder, and it's good to have extra cover there. But even if he doesn't play very, very well as a central attacking midfielder, he can play well on both wings. Crossing's decent enough. He's right-footed. He is a wonder kid. He likes to lob the keeper. Decent determination. I think he could be good. I actually think he could be really good. So that reduces the amount of players we need to bring in. So, if we commit to what we're looking at here, that is 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. Maybe we bring in one backup winger and we have Jay Leathan rotating in and out of the team a little bit. But 4 players, that's not that bad. Now, do bear in mind, when we're looking at this, I have alienated a few people out completely. So, Borno, looking to move him on. Collins, looking to move him on. Springett, looking to move him on. Björsic, going to be leaving the club anyway. Hickey, looking to move him on. Ugat, potentially looking to move him on. Marles, looking to move him on. Tamara, I don't know. I think we'd hang on to him. So let's pop him there. That's okay. Marles, looking to move him on. I think I mentioned that. These two going back on their loans. Divine, shouldn't be a part of the first team squad anyway. What are you doing here? Go back to the under-21s. And then we've got the loan players as well. So, Antonio we're going to be getting rid of. I don't want him anymore. Sam Barnes I kind of want to hold on to because it's Sam Barnes. We might just move him on though because I think that was a sentimental signing we didn't need. Hipwell, I mean, how good are you? You're going to get gone. Heroldt is a weird one. I still don't know what to make of him. His just ability on the ball isn't that good. His passing, however, has gone up to 14. But even Francois Heroldt might be usable next season. That passing really has improved. Maybe we bring him back in. I don't know where we'd play him though, because he wouldn't really do a job as a box-to-box midfielder. Johnson, who are you? Should we matter? Probably not. We'll probably move you on. Stanbridge, do we care? Probably not. We move you on. Nick Carter. Could be our left back. We might have all of the tools we need. Again, we only need a backup left back. Stanbridge I've looked at. Harry White. Harry White ain't bad. Maybe we put him back out on loan, but he's not bad. Holdford, looked at you. I think we send you back out on loan, so we keep you here. Guardian, in theory could be okay, but I think we'll send him back out on loan. I think we've got the makings of the squad already here. I really do. I really do. Heroldt, we need to work out exactly where he plays and what position. Maybe he goes to playmaker on support. What does he prefer to play? His best position is central midfielder on attack. He's probably not going to play that. I'm just thinking his passing might be the best thing to exploit. We'll work on that, and then if he doesn't fit in, we sell him. But that solves that problem. Relatively. This might actually be an easier transfer window than I thought it was going to be. Because looking at that, we've got 1 position to fill. If we go ahead with this, we've got 1 position to fill. At worst, it's 2. Oh, at worst, it may be 3. Now, bearing in mind, we're looking to move these guys on. Borno, 15 million. Marcus Antonio, I don't know if his contract is running out. If it's not, about 40 million. Collins, about 10 million. Because I've already put him up for transfer. Springett, potentially 20 million. Let's call it that. Sam Barnes, 5 million. Aaron Hickey, 20 to 30 million. Ugat, 30 million. Marles, 40 million. We lowball all of that and we say we get all of those players out the door for 100 to 150 million. Guess what? We've already got 67 million in the bank. Well, we've got 10 million in the bank, but the board are letting us spend 67 million. Football finances confuse me. I mean, the wage budget at the moment, we've got £300,000-ish to play with, and we'll have even less than that when all the players who are going to be leaving leave. I think if we don't get a squad that we are absolutely happy with this season, there's only one person to blame for it. Right, I'm going to move on. We're going to try and make some deals happen. And I think what I'll do, unless anything massive comes up, we'll come back to you on the 1st of July and we'll see what the state of the squad is there. And then after that, we'll do what we normally do and we'll go bit by bit as the season goes. I think that's the best plan. Right, I'm going to get wheeling and dealing and I will see you guys in a little while. As soon as I hit continue, this comes up. We are expanding the stadium. The capacity is going to go up, hopefully, by £7,000. I hope that's not it. But it is going to make it a little bit bigger. It's a lot of money for only 7,000 seats. But it's still 7,000 more seats than we've got. I mean, I'm assuming we already have undersoil heating. I'm assuming that's already what it is. But yeah, that's going to be done by near the middle of September, which is good to see. So very happy with that. Don't need to worry about it too much. It is a lot of money that's going to come out of the club coffers. So I imagine if we look at our finances, it's not gone negative yet, but it will at some point. So building for the future. Exciting. Okay, I'm bringing you back a little bit early. Well, quite early, actually. Not to talk about Tony Springett leaving for Fulham, but that has happened. We're we're being linked with the Liverpool job. Liverpool have parted ways with Luis Enrique. We've been asked about it. I've kept neutral. Lie in my face. But I wouldn't be against it. I mean, it's Liverpool. They finished a spot behind us, but their squad is just... I mean, okay, it's aging. Let's get that clear right now. It is absolutely aging. But, I mean, you look at quality. Salah, 36. Okay, he's 36, but he's still great. Harvey Elliott's 26. He's fantastic. Yunus Musa's there, 26, fantastic. 31-year-old Dani Olmo. Probably still got a season left in it. Alisson's a goalkeeper, still doing well. Enzo Feta, 21 years old, looks great. Gilosevic, looking very, very good as well. 22 years old. Ben Doak, 23, looking great. Oscar Gloch, looking very, very good. This kid on his loan looks good. Antonio Silva looks decent. Inacio looks good. Aymar looks good. Milenkovic, old but looks good. Simicast still doing okay. 33. Flores on loan looks okay. Kiko's got great potential. As has Roundtree's got decent potential. Looks good, okay. At the moment, Robertson, old, still can do a job. They've got some fantastic players, and even the older players. Trent, worth over 120 million. Declan Rice, nearly worth 200 million. Pedro Neto, 54 million. Konate still doing well. 150 million apparently. Luis Diaz isn't for sale. There's value in this team. There's talent in this team. And I can't help but look at it and think if the opportunity does come up, I'd find it very difficult not to leave for Liverpool. They have got a fantastic squad. I mean, Trent, still as a right back. If I was to play, he wouldn't be playing right back. I know that for a fact. I wouldn't play Konate as a defensive midfielder as well. Or, I mean, I don't think we're the favourite. We're not. Fonseca is currently the favourite. He's currently a manager at Torino as well, so they'd have to pay for one of us. I mean, apparently he's wanted by Real Sociedad as a manager as well. So, we have to wait and see what happens with that. Aaron Hickey's leaving as well, by the way. We made a massive loss on him, but it doesn't really matter. That puts us to about 100 million in transfer fees, transfer budget that we have at the moment. I don't want to miss out on potentially getting to a big club like Liverpool in this save, but I'm happy at Southampton. I would want to do at least one more year here, I think. But if they approach me, I would look at the offer at face value and make my decision based on that. I'll look at the other jobs available as well. Atletico Madrid looks tempting, but club legend Fernando Torres is in for it. Right, we're going to go ahead, and if we get offered it, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, and we'll see what happens. Actually, I'm just thinking, how Tranmere do at the end? 16th, they're still in the Championship. Bazinga, that's a result. How about little old Dartford? I really, really hope Dartford are still well. 7th in the National League. Think that's just outside the playoffs. I don't think they'll have made it into the playoffs. They did, but they got beat by York City. So they made it to the playoffs at the very least. Good on you, Dartford. Good on you, boys. Right. I'll carry on forward. If we get anything from Liverpool, I'll bring you back for it. If we don't, carry on seeing if I can get this squad ready for the new season. Hold the phone. We are a Champions League team, after all. So, while I was waiting for the game to load in between days, Arsenal beat Inter Milan in the Champions League final. Arsenal, because they're in the top 4, already have a Champions League spot. So that must mean that we have got the next Champions League spot because we were next in the table after the top 4. So we are in the Champions League. As a result, we get the Champions League review. Well, and Pinamonti was the top goal scorer in the league, in the Champions League as well. My goodness me, what a ridiculous set of circumstances. I don't want to leave now. I'm quite happy. Sorry, Liverpool. If they offered me the job, I'd probably still take it. Utter madness. I was kind of half kidding when I said if they offer the job, I'm going to have to probably go for it. But they've offered me an interview. 24th of June. We've already made moves in the transfer market. Not many of them, but we have made some. I mean, we attend the interview. That goes without saying. We absolutely attend the interview. For Liverpool, we absolutely do. Right. What do you think makes you suited to managing a club of this stature? Spent the majority of my career building a considerable experience. Aside from the facts. Waiting for the right opportunity. We're given the chance. I think we go for this one. I think we go for that one. Why have you only worked with a small selection of teams? Showing loyalty. Are you willing to ensure that you do a better job of meeting expectations than your potential predecessor did? Record speaks for itself. Confidence you and everything, except for me if I get the job. Record speaks for itself. Don't want to repeat of our last manager who had to part company with earlier than expected. Are you going to be around for a while? I think... proven track record. We'll go with that. How do you feel about working with our current director of football, Julian Ward? I believe Julian Ward's a very good director of football in this game, so more than happy with that. Backroom team, small budget. Better to adhere to the club's vision. So, under 23 players for the first team. If you give me enough money, that's absolutely fine. Wage budget should be okay. Reputation should be fine. 1 year contracts for 33-year-olds, 2 year for 31, 3 year for 29. I probably wouldn't sign players of that age. End of this season, there's nothing. End of season after, it's best of the rest, and it's challenging for the title and working towards winning the title and winning the title. Very acceptable. No expectations for this current season. They're not giving me a transfer budget. They're not giving me a transfer budget yet. Well, let's see how that goes. We are now the overwhelming favourite for the job, apparently. Oh, we might be changing clubs. I don't think I'm ready. We are the favourite. Oh, I don't know what to do. Alright, I'm not going to agonise over this. Let's assume we're not going to get it. I'm going to carry on. And we'll see what happens. But I was joking. Liverpool. You're out of your minds. 1st of July is here. What better time to go through transfers than this day? So, technically we've had no transfers in. Technically, they're the only transfers out. We made all of the other ones before it ticked over to the screen. So, it will skew like the total figures a little bit. But, looking at the transfers we've brought in, I think we've done some good business in the form of one, Benoit Badiashile. He is our new centre-back, and I think, although he's 28 years old, he is on the older side. We're not going to have him for much longer. He's an upgrade. He's an absolute upgrade. Going to be more consistent than Cresswell. Going to be better at bigger games. Very happy with that. In terms of sales, because that is the only in at the moment. I am working on other ones. In terms of sales, Lunin, Rangers, 25 million. Marles, Liverpool, 30 million. Collins, Norwich, 8.75 million. Tony Springett, Fulham, 25 million. Aaron Hickey, Lyon, 24 million. You did know about some of those. And then we've got these random transfers going on here. You have some other things still in the offing. Borno, we're trying to get out. He keeps returning deals down. But yeah, we're doing what we can to get him out the door. So that's ongoing. Got a couple of players who are looking to leave on loan. Harry White is one of them. Jay Leathan apparently has had an offer in for him. I don't remember that. But yeah, on the in, Ryan Aït-Nouri. We looked at him not that long ago, and he turned us down. We're looking at him again as a backup on the left side. That is because, although I think he could do a decent job, Nick Carter wouldn't be an upgrade as a backup. So I think we bring in someone who's at equal level to Thomas. They're both the same age. That's the only thing that I'm not too sure about at the moment. But with Badiashile in that defence, all of a sudden it looks much better. Put Cresswell in there as well. Oh my word. This could be a good team. We're just hoping Hoyenhall is as good for us as he has been for Lazio this season. We're still waiting on Liverpool. Heard nothing since. I don't know what's going to happen. In terms of the squad though, really? Do we need anything else? Maybe a box-to-box, maybe a winger. I'm quite happy with what we got so far. So really, it's Liverpool's move. Aitner is in. He's in from PSG, the club who he, remember, turned us down for the last time we went in for him. He's come in for £22.5 million, meaning we've still got around £100 million to spend, which is utterly ridiculous that we've got that money. But he will come in. He will do a good job in the fullback position as a backup. I don't think he's coming just yet. I think he'll be joining us once we take over to the new season, which is going to be this day here. At least I hope that's the case. Unless I just go one forward. I might just go one forward, actually. I might have brought you back one step too soon. Apologies if that is the case. Yeah, we brought him back one too much. So, he's not quite as good as we thought he would be, but he'll definitely do a decent enough job. And there he is. So, let's pop him here instead of Carter. Carter can go out on loan. Carter could do a good job for us in the future. Very much so. Pinamonti wants a new contract. That's fine by me. Let's get that sorted. He has been our best player, a superstar striker for us. Let's just see what he wants. Let's talk to his agent. We know he's going to want some top dollar. I'm okay with that. I am very much okay with that. Striker, advanced forward, fine. Apparently he's only a 3-star striker now. Oh, he wants money. Oh, doesn't he just want money? Oh, we should have spoke to his agent. Right, well, I'm willing to give him the money. There we go. New contract. Not that it's going to matter, because we might end up leaving. It still hasn't happened. We still haven't heard anything from Liverpool, which the longer that goes on for makes me wonder whether it's going to happen. I've got a feeling it's not, you know. I've got a feeling we might not be going to Liverpool. We have a look and see at the job centre and look for the Liverpool job. I am no longer the favourite. So, this guy who currently manages Juventus is the favourite. Would he leave Juventus for Liverpool? It's not outlandish. It's not outlandish at all. Scout trial day. I'm in two minds, because Liverpool's a huge step up, and in real life, would I take that job? Of course I would. Why have they all been... All of my fixtures have been cancelled in the American tour. Utterly ridiculous. It's so difficult. I need to do training as well. It's so difficult because Southampton, I'll be honest with you, I haven't felt quite as connected with them as I did with Tranmere. Dartford about the same, if I'm honest. Maybe a little bit more connected with them than I have been with this Southampton team. But I'm starting to feel it. It's starting to get there. And the fact that we've had the struggles with the team in terms of keeping clean sheets and stuff like that is the thing that's making me kind of look and think, I want to see it through and I want to get this team to winning a trophy. We want to hang on to Jay Leathan, I think. 2.5 star, yeah, we hang on to Jay Leathan. So it's difficult. It's difficult to work out what to do if the offer comes up. Of course, why does it say Southampton enter Europa Conference League? Why does it say that we should be in the Champions League? Game. Oh, I don't know. Price wants a new contract as well. Right. We're going to go away and we're going to see whether we get any kind of confirmation on what's happening with the Liverpool job. And then we'll know for a fact what we're doing going forward, because we're getting all these plans and stuff in. The thing that I'm concerned about is that we'll get the Liverpool job and we won't have any time to build a squad. So I'm kind of hoping they make their mind up soon, even if it's not me. Part of me that wants it to be me, though. There's also a part of me that doesn't. I don't know what I'm going to do. Double Brucey bonus, because we've got Bourneau going to PSV for £7.5 million, and also Ugarte is leaving for £25 million. So both of those deals confirmed. More money coming into the club, more money than we need coming into the club. But still nothing from Liverpool. Cole Palmer out for 3 to 4 weeks. That's not ideal. We are now into pre-season. Have a chat with him. Yeah, have a chat with him. The longer it goes on, the more frustrated I'm going to be when I don't have enough time to build a team. I mean, to be fair, you're going to get more playing time. Oh, sorted it. All right, sweet. Yeah, the longer it goes before we hear anything, the more I'm like, well, we're prepping with Southampton, but if we do get the offer from Liverpool, we're just not going to have the time to do what I would like to do, which is build the team up properly. Still nothing. Still nothing at all. Still nothing at all. We need that offer to either come in or not come in. Like, we need to either have the offer or we need to have confirmation that they've gone in another direction. I feel like it's been long enough now they're going in another direction. It's fine. We'll have another opportunity to get to a big club in this save. Of that I'm pretty sure. But I would like to know sooner rather than later. Do need to do James Price's contract. Right. Go away again. Anything happens I'll show you. And hopefully next time we'll know what's happening with that Liverpool offer. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, but it is not a new club. Liverpool have gone in another direction. They have not taken us on as manager. I was thinking for a while, to be honest, they should have asked us about our backroom staff changes, and they haven't asked us. So it is Jose Bordalas. I'm assuming it's Jose. Yes, Spanish. I think if Spanish it's Jose. Portuguese it's Jose. Something like that. I can't remember. I used to have a manager who was Portuguese and he told me something like that. Anyway, that's irrelevant. Point is, it's the former Juventus manager. Juventus who last season in Serie A finished. So how well did he do with them? Let's have a nose and see how well they did. Finished 10th. Oh my. No, that's this season. Okay, they finished second last season. Okay, that's okay. So they've hired someone with proven European pedigree, so I can understand why they went with him. And to be honest, I feel alright about it. I feel like we've still got something we can do at Southampton. I'd quite like to win a trophy with Southampton, to be honest. I think the squad that we've got, there's a League Cup or an FA Cup in it, maybe even a Europa League. Well, I say Europa League, in the Champions League. Well, apparently we're in the Champions League, but again, on the calendar, I don't know if we passed the day, but there was a day on here that was like Europa League start date, and it's not on here anymore. So we might have already passed that day. We go back and see. No. We definitely saw something. I wonder if I go ahead a day. Oh, yeah, you can go. Get Radar off the paywall. That'd be great. No, it's not coming up. So I'm assuming we've got Champions League football. I'm pretty sure we do. Have a look on competitions. Champions League. Right, okay, that's fine. I definitely saw something that said that we entered the Europa Conference League. It's been fuming. Absolutely fuming. But we're not, so all is well. So, in terms of fixture list, while we're here, start the season with Sheffield United, Leeds, and Crystal Palace. Leeds is the one that I'm worried about there. Leeds have been a bit of a bogey team for us, but I do think the squad that we've got has got some potential. Do need some players to kind of up their game, and we do still need to think, do we actually need any more signings? Remember, we filled the two main positions we needed, centre-back, left-back. We filled those two fine. Goalkeeper's one I am thinking about. Is Hoyenhal going to be the answer? I think he will be. We'll give him a chance. I am also thinking central midfield. At the moment, our best box-to-box midfielder is James Ward-Prowse, but we also have Herald and we also have Tamara. So the question is, do those guys fit into that area as well? If they don't, do we then go out and sign someone? On top of that, I am also thinking about winger. We've got February, whose name I'm probably saying wrong. We'll call him Hector for now. We've got Hector, we've got Price, we have got Lethan, and we have got Cole Palmer when he's fit. Now, the issue is someone like Lethan going to be ready for the step up to this level? I mean, he's 2.5 star. He's probably good to play a part. Probably not all the time, but he does need game time to get better. Cole Palmer we know is good enough. Price we know is good enough, but we do also know he's inconsistent. Hector February, Chilean wonder kid, he's a superstar in the making. He had a decent season, I think, at Nice. Decent, he only got 1 assist. But will he step up? Will he do the job for us? I kind of hope he does. But I don't know. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. We're looking to play him kind of out of position on the wings. I mean, he can play in the middle as well. He can play as the attacking midfielder. But I don't know. I'm a bit worried about whether he'll be good enough. So I am thinking maybe we bring one other winger in so that we have Palmer and Price and that winger as the main options. And then we've got February and we've got Lethan as the backup options as well. and it gives us a bit of rotation ability. So I'm thinking maybe we bring a winger and a box-to-box in, and whatever money we have left over, we consider a goalkeeper if Hull doesn't get the job done. Sam Roberts, I think, will do a decent enough job as our backup. I think. We'll see. But, yeah. This segment was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be, didn't get a Liverpool job, wah. But you get an insight into what I'm thinking going forward. So, let's go forward. Let's see if we can get those couple of players in that we're thinking about and get towards the start of the season, shall we? Midfielder signed, and we didn't even have to pay any money up front because he's on a loan. He's come from Liverpool. His name's Enzo Feta, and he will be a very good midfielder for us, I'm sure. He's actually meant to be a defensive midfielder, but he can play as a box-to-box pretty well. Decent tackling. Passing's not that great, but we're expecting him to be a ball carrier. Dribbling and finishing his first touch aren't the best, but they'll be good enough to get the job done. He is going to be more of a transition player, but his physicals are the thing that really sold him. And to be honest, he'll come in as another option. We've still got him, we've still got Ward-Prowse, we've still got Tamara. I don't know what to do about Harold at the moment. I feel like he's going to go, possibly on loan again. We might try and get him on loan and playing as an attacking midfielder, because I think that's going to be... We have a look at Harold. Like... I feel like if we were playing a proper playmaker in this team, he's got to the point now where he would be good enough to do that role. But we need to start getting him that game time in that position as a playmaker. And at the moment with our tactic, at the moment it just isn't there. So, unless, the only thing I could think of is if we brought Harold in, and I've already got it set up that he plays as a deep line playmaker. Now, the only thing that's in my head is that he's not very consistent, which does concern me. But he has got high value, so we could move him on. He is wanted as well by Lyon and Sevilla on loan. Of course, he is on the loan list still. So I'm thinking, we've got a Feta in. Might just bring Feta straight in. Play him here. He's not a playmaker by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, we're not playing with a playmaker at the moment. Although if I wanted to turn Velosa into a playmaker, he could do that job. Don't really want to. I'm thinking Enzo Feta as the box-to-box midfielder. His backup... at least for now would be Tamara, but remember we do also have, well, where is he? He's disappeared. He's disappeared. Where has he gone? Lewis Murray. Lewis Murray, I want to be the guy who ends up in that position. Of course, at the moment he's only a 2-star player, but he can be a 5-star potential player. We just need to get him the game time there. So actually he's going to play in the next game. We've got him. We've got Feta. Feta can play there. Obviously, Ward-Prowse is going to be, at least to begin with, the number one there. He's got a partnership with Lavia. But really, we want Murray to kind of get into that role along with Feta and Tamara. So we've got 4 players for that position. So we've got a lot of good squad coverage there. The fact that Feta's on loan as well doesn't really bother me in terms of if we don't play him at all. I've got more things to worry about. We do have a winger on the way as well. He will cost us £50 million up front. I'm trying to avoid instalments this season where I can. So I'm very excited about him. So fingers crossed. He's a bit reluctant to sign at the moment, but no one else, touch wood, is in for him. So hopefully, the next time I'll be back, you'll have that signing confirmed. Fingers crossed. Biggest reason why I wanted to go to Liverpool was because the reputation would allow us to sign absolute worldies. Don't know whether this guy is classed as a worldie, but he's certainly very, very good. Andreas, I did practice his name, Schelderup. We'll go with that. Andreas Schelderup, Norwegian international, 69 caps at 25 years old, 13 goals as well. Comes in from AC Milan, and I think he's going to be a bit of a superstar. He's great on the dribble. He's relatively quick. Some of his mentals look pretty impressive. He's got some flair. His technique's pretty good as well. Not necessarily the best player in the world, but he's a very, very good player, and he does level up our wing options. So very happy to have him in. Go straight into the training camp squad. We're going to get Veloso to welcome him as well. Apparently, he's very, very happy because we qualified for the Champions League. Apparently, that was a promise we made. Well, sure, I'm happy if he's happy. So he comes in. So that doesn't mean we have to drop someone out of the squad. I think it's going to be Rob Janssen. And I think, actually, he will go into the squad instead of February. So we'll get him straight in there in his favoured left wing position. Lewis Murray's quite tired as well, so we'll bring him out. We'll give Enzo Feta a start in that game as well. So those are the 2 signings that I think finish this squad off. I don't think we have much more left to do in terms of levelling this team up. So it could be very much the case that the next time you see me after this is going to actually be on the opening day of the season. And the amazing thing is, if we have a look at the finances, we still got money to spend. £76 million. We've still got a decent chunk of wage budget left. In fact, we can show that more here. 76 million, 168 million thousand on wage. If we lower the wages, the transfer a little bit, even better than that. And we've still got Sam Barnes who's going to be leaving, which is sad, but it's the right thing to do. Fabian Radar's going to be getting off the wages as well, hopefully. He's rejected every contract offer he's had so far. Paris Walker-Hughes is going out on loan. I'm sure we've got permanent deals somewhere, unless it's already gone through. It probably already has. The point being, we've still got a little bit of money left to come into the club, which is insane to me. So we've got money to spend if we decide at the start of the season we need to right a ship and do things. And we still have to consider a few things as well. We're still thinking what to do with Herald. We're still thinking what to do with Tamara. I think, in all honesty, they're probably going to stick around, but I don't know to what extent. But I am really happy with, I mean, obviously that's the rotated squad you can see there. When it's the full squad, it's a lot better than that. But I am pretty happy as it stands with the team that we've built. So I think, unless anything dramatic happens, we're going to be seeing you again on the first day of the season. Because I'm quite content with what we've got here. Watch something massively dramatic happen, and then all of our plans have to change. And it all go horribly, horribly wrong. Fingers crossed that doesn't happen, but knowing my luck, probably will. Just confirmation here that Fabian Raidar has finally left the club. Celta Vigo is his new home. He's gone for absolutely nothing. I don't care because we got him off the books. It's a shame because there is ability in there, but he just didn't show it for us whenever we used him. So happy to get him off the books. Happy to get his wages out as well. Walker-Hughes, one of our youngsters, has also gone out on loan to Saint-Etienne. Could be an absolute superstar. He's half a star away from being potentially involved in the first team. Very happy to see him get sent out. And also, Alan Tamara's going out on loan. He is going to be going to Fiorentina, potentially, if he agrees with the deal. He's going to be going there as a box-to-box midfielder. That's what I see his development as being. His passing just isn't good enough to be a playmaker to me, and he's not a very good defensive player. So I feel like box-to-box, it's kind of the best of both worlds. So we're going to see whether we can just get him to do that over there. Fingers crossed that is what happens. This is moderately unexpected. Arsenal want Pavlovic. And he really wants to go. He would be at the moment my third choice central defender. So I don't know what to do. I have preempted this already. We had Josko Gvardiol on the old shortlist, but he doesn't want to come. So I've got another player that I have kind of looked at to begin with. Obviously, we can accept this and come back on it at some point. But I do find myself looking at this deal thinking, he's 28, his value's maximum 26. We'll be getting a minimum of about 20, well, it would be £25 million for him. 19 and a bit of that this season. And then the rest of it over the course of this season. And then if he plays 20 games, we get another 6 million or just over. But he's bringing another new player in. And we'd have to spend more than that to get a player of the same quality, if not more. Because he is a decent defender, but he has also made some cock-ups for us. 28 years old. He's not going to get any more valuable than this. Got a contract until 2032. I'm tempted just to do it, to be honest. It's in and around his value. I'm not overly enamoured with him as a defender. You know what? We're going to do it. We can always back out at the last minute. I have put in an offer for a player. Have I put in an offer for a player, actually? No, I haven't. I'm scouting a player at the moment who I think could be a good backup. So, fingers crossed, we can get that guy in. Didn't expect that, I'm not going to lie. Somehow I missed this as well. Marcos Antonio has an offer coming for him. He wants to leave, he wants to go to Porto, and it's a decent amount of money as well. 24 million up front, 5 million in instalments, and after 50 games we get 7.25 million. So it's guaranteed 30 million. I'll take that all day long. Marcus, you know what to do. Accept the offer. It's a lot of money spent on a defender, but I do think Antonio Silva is going to be a very good signing for us. He is the centre-back we have ended up going for. Pavlovic has left us for Arsenal. He has gone only for 25 million altogether. We're only getting a certain amount of that up front. So a lot of our transfer budget that we did have in the bank has now gone. We do still have a lot of wage budget. So if we shift some of it over to there, you can see it doesn't really do anything. But we do still have the transfer of Marcos Antonio to go. So he is still on his way out. Now, unfortunately, it does mean we're not going to sign this guy. Jeremy Alberghi. I've got to say, he does look really, really good. However, he's only two or 3 years younger than Silva. And a couple of the mentals on the top side do worry me a little bit. In terms of a pure defender, he is better and he is quicker. But there's things that worry me about him, to be honest. And also, I kind of want to have 3 defenders who are game ready. Alberghi's not quite game ready, I don't think. I think we'd have to baby him a little bit because of some of his mentals. They're not bad, don't get me wrong, but the low aggression, the low bravery, the composure being 12, they concern me a little bit, if I'm honest. And the determination only being 13 as well is a bit of a concern. Compare that to our boy Silva. It's not a load better, but okay, his aggression and bravery aren't quite as good, but his composure, concentration, decisions, determination are all 15s. His defending stats aren't too bad. Okay, his marking's 13, but it's still not too bad. His positioning's still okay. He's relatively quick, and he doesn't have tight marking. I hate tight marking with a passion. I've seen so many goals go in against me because of tight marking before. If you ever watched me on Twitch when I had my Aston Villa save and we had Fikayo Tomori, up until the second we trained it off of him, tight marking ruined him. The second it was gone, he was a superstar for us. So I'm quite happy with that as a signing. He will go into the team in place of our former boy, Pavlovic. I forgot his name. That's how dead he is to me now. But we'll pop him in the first team and just get him all settled in. He's only 3-star at the moment. He might grow to a 3.5-star, but he will be, I think, a little superstar for us. Quite happy with that one. And I think that is going to be it for transfers. We don't have much money left. Even when we have the Marcos Antonio money come in, it's not going to bring it up too high. It'll be enough that if we need to sign an emergency goalkeeper, we'll have enough to do it. We've got these couple of clauses as well to get a little bit of money in. But I'm quite content with what we've got. Linton Hamnet is going out on loan, by the way. He's one of our youngsters. He's a very, very good young player. I mean, I'll sort that off camera because I thought I'd already sorted some of these. But yeah, I'll sort that off camera. But I think we've now reached a point where the next time you'll see us, I keep saying this, will be the first day of the season. So let's see whether it is or whether anything else gets in the way or not. And there we have it. It is opening day of the season. It will be an away game against Sheffield United. And that is the squad. A couple of things we do need to bear in mind. We do have a slight injury to Pinamonti. He's out for about 5 days. Enzo Feta did pick up an injury as well. He's out for a couple of weeks. And Luke Thomas, he's suspended for the first game of the season. So that is looking like the starting 11 that we're going to use. Not 100% sure if it's going to be Tino or Carl Jimenez. To be fair, Jimenez at this point is the better player, so we might go with Jimenez. But that's how it's looking. So new signings, Badia Shile, Ait Nouri, Shelderup. Shelderup. They're going to be starting. Tamara's going to be the box-to-box midfielder because, again, we brought in Feta as that player. He's injured. And Ward-Prowse, he could be fine there, but he is starting to be caught up by Father Time. It's kind of sprinting alongside him very, very briskly. Lewis Murray, of course, is the long-term solution there, but he's just not quite at that point at the moment. His potential ability has just dropped. His potential ability was 5-star. Oh, all of the time I've put into training him, and he's gone down to that. Oh, no. Okay. Well, we might have to reassess his position in the squad in that case. To be fair, he's been very, very good every time we've called upon him, so he's a good squad option to have. Similar to Tommy Gardner, whose potential, again, is only 3-star, so it's all worth with some of their training. But that is how the team is looking. Just to confirm the transfer side of things, just so we know where we stand at the end of what I think is going to be the end of the business that we've done. In terms of players in, we obviously started last season with players like, well, the player like Badia Shile, who came in for 55 million, and players out was of the plentiful. Marcos Antonio obviously went out on loan, so that doesn't count, but it was Lunin, Marles, Collins, Springett, Hickey. They all disappeared very, very quickly. Then in, we brought in Nuri, Feta on loan, Shelderup. Andreas Schelderup, I'm going to get that, and Antonio Silva. And then a lot of players have gone out as well, including big names like Borno, Ugart, Sam Barnes finally left the club as well. Marcus Antonio, Jack Court, a random player sold for a ridiculous amount of money. Pavlovic went as well. And then a few players have gone out on loan, including Herolds, Abaje, thank God Abaje, and Linson Hamnett. So I'm a bit surprised we've ended up keeping Tamara in the squad. I thought he was going to go out on loan, but I'm actually quite happy that we've kept him. So that's the squad. That's the team. And in terms of transfers, we've still got £50 million and £300,000 left in the bank to spend on players should we decide we need it. But we are going ahead with Hoyenhall as our #1 goalkeeper. Let's see how he does in this first game of the season. But that will be in the next episode. So until then, thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to leave a like on the video if you've enjoyed today and subscribe so you don't miss any of the content coming in the future. I've been Stu, you guys have been awesome, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.